Hey, hi everyone. Sorry, just polishing off my Grammy there. My name's Jose Macias. Welcome back, aka Dr. Squeezebox. Please follow me on all the socials. Instagram, Dr._Squeezebox. TikTok might be a little difficult to find yet, just due to TikTok rules and regulations. I can't quite change my name yet. So keep an eye out. Or if not, it'll find you. My video will find you. And speaking of the socials, I want to thank everybody humbly. It's been a really humbling experience to see people that are actually interested, people that want to see what we're putting out. So thank you, because this is a passion for me, and it's nice to find other like-minded people who are wanting to create community as well. So please keep an eye out for future videos and future posts and things that we have going on. Big things are happening. Speaking of big things, we just launched our YouTube channel, and the first video has just dropped. So please keep an eye out for that. And if you want to find out more information, everything will be in the description down below. I know on this channel you're expecting maintenance and repairs and tunings, and we will get to that. We do have some videos in the works, so please be patient with us, and we will have those out as soon as we can. But I also want to speak on, not only do I repair and maintain these instruments, the accordion, but I'm also a player, I'm also a musician. So like I said, I do them for people in the performance community, the Tejano en Conjunto, but myself, I'm a part of that as well. And speaking on that, this weekend was a 3-day road trip, which started off in Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico, which was a great experience. I had experienced it before with Elida Reina over 15 years ago. We went, and it was great, eye-opening experience. So I want to thank Ram Herrera and the Outlaw Band for allowing me that same experience this time around. Yeah, it was great. I want to thank the people of Monterrey, Nuevo León, the people at the club, the promoters, everybody. It was a great experience all the way around. Hotel room was great. The accommodations were wonderful. The bond that we have with the people from Monterrey and the Tejano en Conjunto community, they really appreciate it. They really do. They really do embrace us, and it's nothing like superficial. Like, they really love the Tejano en Conjunto music. So it's great to be able to go down there, to experience, to share in that sort of community, and to be able to share our music and our knowledge with them, and it was great. Our second performance, we came back to the United States to play in the Valley, the Rio Grande Valley. We played Alamo, Texas at the Watermelon Festival. Once again, thank you everybody for the great accommodations that you all had for us down there. Great performance. And then last night, we played here in San Antonio, Tequila's nightclub. So that was fun. A little tired, but here we are, right? We keep going. And to add to this, I want to mention that there's a lot of bumps, and the movements on the road can have some effect on your instrument, on your accordion especially. My accordion was right there next to me, and it felt every bump, it felt every turn, every swerve on the road. Let's say even when I was on stage, right, and I couldn't hear the monitors, which meant I have to apply a little more pressure to the accordion. At least that's your instinct, right? And I've been doing it for a while at this point, so I try not to get too flustered when I don't hear myself, but yet it does put a strain on your instrument because you're actually applying a little more pressure on the reeds, more pressure around the gaskets, around the bellows. So there's a lot that can go into it, right? Even the arms, right? There can be air can escape from all over the place. So you want to not get flustered in those moments, and that's on stage. But let's digress back to like the actual travels. It's hot, it's summer, it's Texas, I was in Mexico. And what is the key thing on the accordion that holds the reeds? What is that one thing that holds the reeds to the reed block? That would be wax. It would be beeswax, which melts, which has a very low melting point. So you want to make sure that your accordion, especially your accordion, I mean, any instrument needs special attention and care, especially because of the reed and the reed blocks that have wax holding the reeds onto the reed blocks. You really do want to pay special attention to that. And I'll give you an example. We pulled into a Denny's, right, when we got to Rio Grande City. We pulled into a Denny's, and one of the first things I did, besides getting my wallet, right, so I could pay for my food, was bringing my accordion with me. And why? Because I didn't want to let it sit in the van for even over 10 minutes, because even that can kind of compromise something. Okay, I will say this. You're probably safe leaving it in there for 10 minutes, but do you really want to take that chance? I personally don't. And I've had people along my journey, right, this musical journey, they've been like, well, why do you have your accordions in a McDonald's or in a Wendy's or in a fast food joint? And I'm like, well, because I care for my instruments. I don't want to leave them in the heat. I don't want to leave them exposed to the elements. And especially like this weekend, like I said, we were in the Rio Grande Valley, and then we went to Nuevo León, to Mexico, to Monterrey. I made sure that my accordion spent as little time as they could in the heat of a vehicle. As we all know, right, the heat of a vehicle is much more, or the heat that actually builds up inside the car is much more than, I'm not a scientist, mind you, but I do know this, that it gets hotter in the vehicle than it is outside. So when you're out there traveling, for those accordion players who are just starting or just kind of learning the groove of their instrument, you want to make sure to pay special attention to that, to make sure that it's in a comfortable space. And I did read this somewhere, I want to thank the internet, but it says if you are uncomfortable, so is your accordion. So if you're feeling a little warm, if you're feeling a little too cold, so anything like that can affect the mechanics of your instrument. Make sure to properly care for it. And that's just caring for it. Maintaining is a different thing. And when I talk about maintaining, like myself, who has the luxury, right, and who's acquired the knowledge to fix these things, ideally, I would want to check it after every performance, right? That would be like the ideal thing. It's not practical. It's not a practical thing. As mentioned before, in a perfect world, you would like to maintain it after every performance. But maybe watching these videos and with maybe some community, creating some dialogue, maybe you all can actually check your instruments. And so stick around, right? And we got some future videos coming up that might help you in that. But right now we're just kind of talking about like the rigors of the road and the beatings that your instrument can take and how to properly maintain it. And specifically for those who are just kind of starting off with their musical journey, their career, you would like to maintain and check your accordion, as mentioned before, after every performance. A couple of times a year, maybe twice a year at minimum would be good, just to make sure everything's functioning. Because usually when you tune one, they do start to kind of get out of tune, at least when you have it done in total, right, the whole thing, they kind of flatten out evenly for the most part. Of course, you have reeds that maybe jump sharp or whatever, but for the most part, they kind of drop by themselves, or equally, let's put it that way. It's not like something that you notice right away. You notice it when you're with a guitar player who's like just kind of tuning up and you're a little out of tune. Well, what is it, right? Because you can't tune after every performance, not ideally, because it's kind of a process. On a guitar, you just kind of tune the tuning head, right? But on an accordion, you have to open it up. You have to get the reed blocks out. You have to do whatever you do, right, to get them sharp or to flatten them. So it's not the same thing as any other instrument. So that's what makes it pretty unique. That's why if you do have the opportunity, if you do have the financial ability to get it serviced maybe once, twice a year, that would be great. And if you need anybody to do that, please call me. Please hit me up on the socials or on YouTube or in any platform. Essentially, this video is for those musicians, those accordion players in particular, who not only play like in your local towns, but who are actually traveling, right, and experiencing the rigors and the different elements of the road. And depending where you're traveling to and how you're traveling, like this weekend, I was going by vehicle, right? They picked us up, they transported us to Mexico, Nuevo León, right, Monterrey, and then back to the US. But let's say you're taking an airplane trip, like myself, will be going to Italy soon, hint, hint. So where do you put your accordion? Do you check it in? Do you carry it on? I personally always carry mine on because I'd rather arrive to my destination with my instrument and my clothes in Hawaii. Who knows where they may be, right? But I'd rather have my accordion right next beside me. For those musicians, whether you're pro, whether you're beginner, or anywhere in between, this knowledge, you might think it's common, but it might not be so common knowledge. So it helps just to kind of hear it if you've never heard it anywhere else, because I picked it up somewhere else. So maybe I'm the one to give you that knowledge, just to make sure that you're taking care of your instrument, making sure it's maintained properly, because I don't want you to come to me when you've left your accordion in the car in 120-degree weather and your reeds are bouncing all over the place and you're wondering what that noise or what that sound is. It's probably your reeds that have come detached from the reed block and just scattered up all into your accordion. So I don't want you to call me for that one, but if you need to, please let me know and I will more than happy to take care of that problem for you. Once again, thank you all for watching. Please look at the description down below for all of my social media handles, a link to the first video. I would name you off all of my social media handles, but I'm still kind of organizing these things in my head so I can get them out perfectly and right for you all. Not perfectly, but at least that I can name them for you. Oh yes, and by the way, keep an eye out for the website. It's either up or it's about to come up. Either way, it'll be in the description on this video down below. That's where you can get a hold of me if you have any sort of repairs, any maintenance. Contact me. We can connect through there. My name is Jose Macias, Dr. Squeezebox here out of San Antonio, Texas. See you guys later.